Happy Hump Day, everybody. X-Man 1991 back again with another video. Before I show y'all highlights of WrestleMania 19, I gotta do this rant real quick. Y'all didn't know I would do a rant about this rapper, would you? Did you? Well, today is the 60th birthday of legendary hip-hop artist, songwriter, dancer, and record producer Stanley Kirk Burrell, better known by his rap name MC Hammer, or simply Hammer. Hammer is best known for having great commercial success and popularity between the late 80s and the early 90s. He is best known for his hit songs such as You Can't Touch This and Too Legit to Quit. Yes, I'm doing a rant about Hammer because today he turned 60. And he's also known for his flashy dance movements and his hammer pants. But before I do a rant about MC Hammer, here to give you my quick halftime report on tonight's game between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. The Heat lost by 4 in the first quarter, 29-25. But they made a comeback in the second quarter, outscoring the Celtics by 27-23. At halftime, Heat 53, Celtics 52. Can the Heat keep this lead, or will they fall to the Celtics? We just got to wait and see. I think I'm going to do a recap on that game either tomorrow or Friday. But for now, this rant is all about MC Hammer. MC Hammer was also in the military between 1981 and 1984. MC Hammer was born Stanley Kirk Burrell in Oakland, California on March 30th, 1962. His father was a professional poker player and gambling casino manager, as well as a warehouse supervisor. He grew up poor with his mother and 8 siblings in a small apartment in East Oakland. He recalled that 6 children were crammed into a 3-bedroom housing project apartment. The Burrells would also frequent thoroughbred horse races, eventually become owners and winners of several grade stakes. In the Oakland Coliseum parking lot, the young Burrell would sell stray baseballs and dance accompanied by a beatboxer. The Oakland Athletics team owner, Charles O. Finley, saw the 11-year-old doing splits and hired him as a clubhouse assistant and bat boy as a result of his energy and flair. MC Hammer served as a bat boy with the team from 1973 to 1980. He acquired the nickname MC for being a master of ceremonies, which he used when he began performing at various clubs while on the road with the Athletics, and eventually in the military. Hammer, who played second base in high school, dreamed of being a professional baseball player but did not make the final cut at a San Francisco Giants tryout. However, he has been a participant player in the annual Taco Bell All-Star Legends and Celebrity Softball game wearing a A's hat to represent Oakland. MC Hammer went on to graduate from McClymonds High School in Oakland in 1980 and took undergraduate classes in communications. Discovered by his studies at a local college and falling to win a place in a professional baseball organization, he joined the U.S. Army Navy for 3 years, serving with Patron 47 of NAS Moffett Field in Mountain View, California, as a petty officer, 3rd class third-class aviation storekeeper until his honorable discharge. Before Hammer's successful music career and Rags to Riches to Rags and Back saga, he formed a Christian rap group and with singer and musician John Gibson, or JG, called the Holy Ghost Boys. MC Hammer and Tremaine Hawkins performed with Gibson's band during concerts at various venues such as the Beverly Theater in Beverly Hills, California. Some songs produced were called Word and B-Boy Chill. The Wall, featuring MC Hammer, was later released on Gibson's album Change of Heart in 1988. Hammer also produced The Son of the King during this time. And on August 13th, 1986, MC Hammer released his debut album Feel My Power, selling 60,000 copies. A considerate success for a small independent label of the era, which led several offers from major labels. MC Hammer released his debut album Feel My Power on August 13, 1986. On September 28, 1988, Hammer released his second album and first major label studio album, Let's Get It Started, by Capitol Records and EMI Records. The album peaked at number 30 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart, and went double platinum. He had 4 singles from the album. Turn This Mother Out, I know that song. Turn This Mother Out. They Put Me in the Mix, Pump It Up, and Let's Get It Started. On February 12, 1990, 2 days before Valentine's Day, Hammer released his third and most successful album, Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em. The album went number 1 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart for 21 weeks, and the album was certified diamond. The first solo hip-hop artist to ever go diamond. Of course, Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em is the album that had the song Help the Children, Dancing Machine, of course, his all-time hit, You Can't Touch This, can't touch this, can't touch this. Have You Seen Her, Pray, and Here Come the Hammer, uh-oh, 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 here come the hammer, uh-oh, 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 here come the hammer. MC Hammer was definitely making a lot of money from that one-hit song, You Can't Touch This. Despite heavy airplay and a number 27 top chart debut, You Can't Touch This stopped at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart because it was released only as a 12-inch single. On October 29th, 1991, MC Hammer released his 4th album, Too Legit to Quit. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified triple platinum. This is the album that had that single, Too Legit to Quit. Other singles include Adam's Groove, Do Not Pass Me By, and this is the way we roll. On March 1st, 1994, Hammer released his fifth album, The Funky Headhunter, 29 days before his 32nd birthday. This album was released by Giant Records and Reprise Records. The album at the time was hailed as Hammer's comeback album. As with some earlier songs such as Crime Story from the album Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, the content and reality about street life remained somewhat the same, but the sound was different, resulting in Hammer losing favor with fans. The album still went certified platinum. This is the album that had that song Pumps in a Bump. In 1995, MC Hammer signed a deal with Death Row with Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Suge Knight, Nate Dogg, back when the label was at its peak. On September 12, 1995, he released his sixth album, Inside Out. After the decrease in popularity and sales of his previous album, The Funky Headhunter, Hammer returned to his previous pop image. The album peaked at number 23 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart, but only reached number 119 on the Billboard 200, causing Giant Records to drop Hammer and his Oaktown Records subsidiary from the label. It said in 1995, MC Hammer did sign a deal with Death Row. Yep, Hammer signed with Death Row. Hammer's relationship with Suge Knight dates back to 1988, and he was signed to Death Row in 1995. Along with Snoop Dogg and Tupac. He was supposed to have this album, like I said, on Death Row called Too Tight released, but his album was never released. Yeah, he was on Death Row for a little bit, and then he left after Tupac passed away. MC Hammer, to me, does not look like an artist that could end up on Death Row. No surprise that he was signed to Death Row. On November 20th, 2001, Hammer released his seventh album and first independent album since Feel My Power, Active Duty. Following the 9/11 attacks, Hammer released this album on his own record label, World Hit Music Group label. On January 31st, 2004, Hammer released his eighth album, Full Blast. The album was recorded in 2003 and was released in early 2004 on Hammer's Full Blast label. Produced by Hammer himself, the album was not well received both critically and commercially, not charted or spawned any hit singles. The lack of attention, although easily accessible online, was due in part to so many instrumental mixes dominating the album. The lead single and title track Full Blast includes a diss track towards Eminem and Busta Rhymes. On Independence Day 2006, Hammer released his ninth studio album, Look, Look, Look. It serves as MC Hammer's official ninth release and 11th record overall. It has sold 300,000 copies worldwide. The album is categorized as crunk, a style of hip-hop. MC Hammer did release another album in 2009. Yeah, he did release his 10th album in 2009, Dance Jam the Music. Let me see. In 2001, y'all know they made a biopic of MC Hammer called "What, Too Legit? The MC Hammer Story." Yep. In 2001, they released the biopic of MC Hammer called "Too Legit to Quit: The Life Story of MC Hammer." That became the second highest rating original movie in the history of VH1 and broadcast simultaneously on BET. I gotta tell you, that MC Hammer movie was trash. I'm sorry. That biopic of MC Hammer was garbage. So, guys, MC Hammer does not look no damn 60. He still looks the same as he was when You Can't Touch This came out. He looks nowhere near 60. How is he 60 years old and he looks nowhere near that age? Oh my goodness, I just can't believe it. MC Hammer is now 60 years old. Well, I'm not going to take up too long, but let me know what you guys think about your thoughts on MC Hammer turning 60. Even though I ain't no fan of MC Hammer, I will give him credit because he was the first solo hip-hop artist to go diamond when that album Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him came out in 1990 with that famous hit song You Can't Touch This. But anyway, that wraps up my quick rant celebrating the 60th birthday of MC Hammer. If you're new here, hit subscribe if you like the content and click that notification bell for my next rant in honor of a legendary hip-hop artist's birthday. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave your comment down below. I'll be back after I upload this rant, showing y'all highlights of WrestleMania 19. Happy 60th birthday to MC Hammer.